You're watching Solar Impulse TV. Hello. You saw some pictures of the MCC there just to kick us off. We've got a bit of a last-minute change. This is breaking news. We were expecting landing in around half an hour's time. That landing has now been delayed by another half hour. So that will be 2:30 for us here at Monaco Mission Control and 8 o'clock in Mandalay, where we have another time zone to contend with. It is GMT plus 6.5 hours, and we're just about keeping track. So just to recap, that will be 2:30 here in Monaco at the Mission Control Center, 1:30 p.m. for anyone who's watching in a GMT time zone, and 8 p.m. Mandalay time. What are we talking about? We're talking about the fourth leg of the Solar Impulse Round the World flight attempt, taking us from Varanasi International Airport to Mandalay Airport in Myanmar. And we're expecting to have a special guest here in the studio. Prince Albert of Monaco is expected to be here for the landing. He said he wanted to come and welcome Bertrand Piccard and congratulate him on completing this fourth leg. Yes, 4 legs already. It seems to have flown by, quite literally, in fact. That means that we've done a third already of the flights for the Round the World flight attempt. There are 12 in all. And after that, we thought, wow, we've done a third already. But at the same time, all of the other ones to come are going to get longer, they're going to get more difficult, and it is still going to be quite a few weeks and months here for us here at Monaco Mission Control before we complete the Round the World flight attempt. Now, a little earlier on, I spoke to Bertrand Piccard when he was up in the air, and I started by asking him if he was going to please stop showing off and breaking records. Here's what he said.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the camera from the vertical stabilizer, but we have the sunset just in front.
I can, Bertrand. It looks fantastic. And we're looking forward to seeing the landing as well. I'm sure it's going to be stunning, some of the pictures we're going to get from Mandalay. One question for you first, though, Bertrand. Are you planning to break a record every time you fly?
Well, you know, you just receive what nature wants to give you, but it's true that today I was flying 200 kilometers per hour. I think that's the fastest speed with Solar Impulse. That was really nice. I was in the jet stream, and you know, it reminded me when I went around the world with Breitling Orbiter 3. We also had jet streams like that going really fast, and my fastest speed with the balloon, that was 234 kilometers per hour. So I just did not break the record of the balloon with Solar Impulse because I was a little too low. If I would have climbed a bit more, it would have been possible to fly faster. But now I think I got another record. It was flying backward, 20 kilometers, because the speed of the wind was faster than my own to descend over Mandalay. So from 200 kilometers per hour forwards, I went 20 kilometers per hour backwards. So that was fun also.
And this isn't the first time you've been in Mandalay on a round-the-world record attempt. Tell us about the last time.
Well, the first time I arrived in Burma, in Myanmar, that was in 1998, when I made my failed attempt to fly around the world, Breitling Orbiter 2. And we had no permission to fly more on the north, direction China. So I tried to fly to the south and get some better winds on the south, and actually it was too slow. We had not enough fuel for the Pacific. And the government of Myanmar immediately invited us to make an emergency landing in Myanmar. And that's actually the first time I was there. It was a beautiful country. You know, that was a shock to see people so nice. All these temples, these pagodas. It was fantastic. So then I went back 2 years later with some friends. We took some hot air balloons and we went flying over Lake Inle, Mandalay, Bagan, Maniwa, and I stayed there for 2 weeks. So now it's my third time and looking forward to put my feet on the apron of Mandalay again.
Well, it won't be too long now, Bertrand, and I have to ask you this very important question. Have you got all of the necessary paperwork?
Yes, I think so. I think so. But you know, in Varanasi, it was so easy, the paperwork. It was so easy. I got the stamp, and in Myanmar, I think everything is ready. Everybody is waiting for us. It will be smooth. And I hope we can put on Solar Impulse television this song on the road to Mandalay. You know the road to Mandalay? That's a poem from Rudyard Kipling. And it was sung, I think, 40 years ago by a British soldier. So that's really the moment to play that song. If we don't play it today, we will never play it in our lives.
Well, we did hear it a little earlier, Bertrand, yes, on Solar Impulse TV. And as you say, it's a very evocative poem by Rudyard Kipling. We look forward to seeing you soon, Bertrand. All the best, and onwards with the round-the-world flight attempt.
Yes, exactly. I hope it will go well. André Borschberg did a great flight yesterday. It's a beautiful flight also today. Things are going well. And next leg is for entering China. That will be another great moment in around the world. So goodbye, Connor, and goodbye, everybody.
That was me speaking to Bertrand Piccard a little earlier today and referencing the Rudyard Kipling song Road to Mandalay. And before we find out more about what happened on the flight, let's just take a look at what you can see behind me. This is live pictures coming to us from Mandalay Airport. A great scene already there. Let's see if we can get more. There we go. Look at that already. Waiting for Bertrand Piccard to arrive. And we always get some really amazing receptions when we land at airports. We're always really blown away by the way that we're welcomed. And we saw a bit of a dance routine being practiced earlier, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. There you go. A bit more practice. It's going to be really wonderful. Really looking forward to seeing the welcome reception when the plane lands in Mandalay. Well, here with me in Mission Control watching this is our flight director, Raymond Claire. Hi, Ray.
Hi again.
It's lovely, isn't it, to see that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really, it's emotional to see this.
Yeah, it's going to be really something. Bertrand Piccard breaking another record. He can't stop himself now, can he? There's speed this time. He had distance last time, around 216 kilometers an hour. That's pretty amazing, isn't it, for this solar-powered plane, which is used to flying much more slowly?
Yeah, but it's typical for Bertrand. You know, I think with the SIA, he had also the record. It was, I guess, on the flight to Madrid. He had nearly 90 knots or 95, and this time we touched 170 knots, 17. Huh? And of course, we were focused on the instruments, on our ground speed indicator, because we knew it will come. Luc told us we will be in this jet stream, and it was really amazing. So, of course, I took my iPhone and I made some tweet.
I think last time, though, in Madrid, he was flying backwards as well.
Both, yeah. So, you know, when you are flying so fast, then you have to adjust for the approach. And this was also what we did now. I think we started to hold here west of Mandalay about 2 hours ago. We had a beautiful sunset, and it was good. So
you had some slight concerns about thermals, maybe keeping up in the air a little bit longer.
Yes, thermals, and now, you know, to be ready for the reception, for everything. So we have plenty of fuel on board, so we can hold. We had a little delay now because we are turning the runway. So instead of the plane landing on 17, we decided to choose runway 35, and the full security service organized for the arrival. It's almost a state visit that we have. They have to turn it to the south of the airport, and it takes some time. So that's why now we will have, I guess we should be able to land in about 50 minutes from now. Okay,
so we'd all better be on our best behavior. We've got a state visit there in Mandalay. We've got a state visit here being prepared as well.
Yes, we think the Prince Albert too will join us for the landing.
Okay, look forward to that. And will he be pilot communication again, welcoming Bertrand when he's on the ground?
For sure.
All right, great. Yes. We look forward to that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Raymond. And I'll let you take your place and prepare for this state visit from Prince Albert, who is not here for the first time. He was there for the takeoff and landing of our first two legs. And as Raymond was saying, he's going to be there to say hello. So Raymond just behind me there, taking his seat in the Monaco Mission Control Center. Well, we've been following every day the press coverage of Solar Impulse. It hasn't been letting up. We have been very, very pleasantly surprised by the non-stop national and international coverage that we've been getting of Solar Impulse. And I take a look at some of the key coverage a little earlier. Indian paper The Hindi gets the best video of André Borschberg on arrival in Varanasi airport, resplendent in a bright pink or fuchsia turban. Takes a special kind of guy to carry off that look. We do welcome, by the way, any fashion tips, and we promise to pass them on to the management. A BBC post from no less than science correspondent Jonathan Amos, who quotes our flight strategist Christophe Bezos saying, "In Varanasi, we can expect to have foggy mornings, which could be a problem for an early takeoff." Now that means they were watching SITV live, because that's where he said it, and we're very honoured. And look, they're well brought up as well, because they've even put a credit on our lovely pictures. The Daily Mail draws attention to our paperwork issues in India and the tweet storm turbulence during the last flight. After a bit of argy-bargy, diplomatic discussion and somewhat less than diplomatic Twitter talk, all's well that ends well, and from now on everyone will double and triple check that everything is signed, sealed and delivered. I'm yours. The nice people at the Wall Street Journal have focused on pretty pictures from our Twitter stream, choosing a fine selection, including a slightly forlorn-looking empty hangar in Ahmedabad, taken once the plane was on the way to Varanasi. And it's nice to see the Monaco team getting a mention too. International Business Times uses solar impulse as a peg on which to elegantly hang a piece on the price of solar energy, which is, they say, dropping dramatically. Rooftop systems are now 80% cheaper than they were 7 years ago. Here's my favourite quote: "Perhaps no project better captures the industry's achievements than Solar Impulse 2. Well, they said it. And the article includes glowing praise from the US Department of Energy, the New York College of Environmental Sciences. But the key phrase for me comes near the end. The massive adoption of solar power and other renewable energy resources is critical for fighting climate change. And we couldn't have put that better ourselves." Some of the coverage from around the world. And let's head right now to Mandalay to see what's happening at Mandalay Airport. And we are expecting something pretty special when Bertrand arrives. We've got music, we've got dancing, huge numbers of people getting ready. That's Noemi from our camera team, who's already in position. This is all coming live from Mandalay. So look at the effort he was putting into that. If you didn't get to see Raymond Claire a little earlier on the show, you may have missed the news that landing has been delayed by half an hour. We were expecting the plane to be on the ground by 1300 GMT. That has been delayed by half an hour to 1330 GMT, which is 8 p.m. local time, so 8 p.m. in Mandalay. And that's Mandalay Mean Time, which is GMT plus 6.5 hours. Of course, when we leave Mandalay, we'll be heading to China. It'll be a bit easier for those of us who aren't so mathematically minded, like me, for example. China, the whole of China, is GMT plus 8 hours. As our flight director, Raymond Claire, said to me right here, this is being characterized almost like a state visit with everything that goes along with that in Mandalay. And it's also a state visit for us here in Monaco, because Prince Albert of Monaco will be turning up shortly, and he's looking forward to seeing Bertrand's landing and have a few words of encouragement for him. And we will also grab a few words with Prince Albert once he comes out of the MCC. And we're also going to stay with the Mandalay Airport after landing to just have a look at this welcoming committee, because I think that they've spent so much time clearly organising this that it seems only fair for us to share that with you on SITV. Behind the media there and the dancers who are relaxing for a second. You can see a huge tent, and that tent will be the next home of Solar Impulse. And in terms of the events surrounding Solar Impulse's arrival, we'll share that with you on social media. Best places on our Twitter feed. You can also check out the Facebook page. But if you go to our Twitter feed right now, Solar Impulse, @SolarImpulse, then you will see lots of information already. Plenty of photos. We've got vines, other videos and tweets, keeping you bang up to date with what's happening. And that's the latest from Mandalay Airport, as a really quite impressive looking welcoming committee is being organised for the arrival of Bertrand Piccard in Myanmar. Landing delayed by around about half an hour, so that will be 13:30 GMT, 8 p.m. in Mandalay. Now, I recommended that you should have a look at our Twitter feed to see all the information that's coming down, because that's probably the best place to go, @SolarImpulse on Twitter. But we put together a little best-of for you, some of the best photos and videos and other information put together by our social media team on the ground. Take a look.
There's no passport and no solar impulse too. Waiting in Varanasi, and maybe makes me crazy. Imagine all the people and I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us
Just some of the pictures that we've been taking, the videos we've been taking. A nice song from our team member Laurent Raymond saying, changing the John Lennon song Imagine to talk about the Solar Impulse passport, which is one of the key stories of the last leg. Would Bertrand Piccard get his passport stamped in time for this flight? He managed to do it after a bit of diplomatic effort and a big lot of pressure on Twitter as well. There was some huge number of people on Twitter, but he's saying, come on guys, let's get this one sorted out. So we're very happy that was sorted out. And not only did he get in the cockpit, he also managed to break another record for speed. I've got meteorologist Luc Trulemans, who is here to make sure he avoids this kind of madness, but he didn't manage it this time, Luc. He had a record speed of 216 kilometers an hour. That's 117 knots. I thought he was going to try and avoid the jet stream. What happened?
No, we tried to fly with the jet stream to take time, but it was forecast like that. I said this morning in the briefing that we will fly over the 100 knots, and it really happened just over the northern Gulf of Bengal near Chittagong. And we flew at the flight level 27,000 feet high to test some oxygen
The oxygen system, which was
system, okay.
Pretty much a brand new oxygen system.
It was the first time that we flew with this aircraft so high, in such a wind speed, and reaching, like you said, 210 kilometers an hour, 117 knots. This is a record, an achievement of this for this aircraft.
To be certified by the FAI, of course, but I'm sure that'll be a formality, but we're pretty confident on that. A new world record for solar aviation speed, 216 kilometers an hour, and Bertrand Piccard also broke a record in his last flight, and that was from Amman to Ahmedabad for predetermined distance covered. So he just can't stop himself. And it's not going to stop, I think, is it? Because the flights get longer.
And
we'll have speed,
we'll fly higher.
We'll be flying higher. We'll be going through all kinds of trials and tribulations, but it's going to be fun. We're already a third of the way. Think of that, Luc. Already a third of the way through his flight attempt. 4 down and 8 to go.
Yeah, of course. And we were just in the edge of the jet stream. The core of the jet stream was at 37,000 feet, so and it was 100 knots speedy. So with we could reach 140 knots ground speed if we flew in the core. But this is dangerous to fly just in the middle of the jet stream because we have clear air turbulence there, and it's not accepted by the engineers to fly in the core of a jet stream. So, but in the edge, it's not a problem.
Oh, okay, so you're fairly serene. Luke, stay with us. We're going to now go to Mandalay International Airport to see the plane. There it is, up there in the air. And we are probably going to stick with these images for a little longer. I understand these are now stable images we can get, so we can start looking at the approach. It is now in Mandalay, 24 minutes past 7. That is GMT plus 6.5 hours. Now, Luke, if you can give us some information about this descent. The delay, I think, is really due to keeping it up there for holding reasons. Do you have any more information on that? Not really down to wind. I think the thermals
no,
are
we
not too problematic.
took a delay of 1 hour and 30 minutes because of the convection. Today it was 38 degrees warm in the shadow over the area of Mandalay, and you have a lot of vertical wind speed reaching 3-4 meters a second, and this is too much for the aircraft. So we have to wait the sunset, and better 1 hour after sunset to approach and to land in Mandalay to avoid these turbulences.
Yes, and it's coming down very, very smoothly. We're not seeing any problems
But
there.
we are waiting for the prince also.
Well, yes, that's going to happen pretty soon. I think he's on his way. I'll get confirmation, I think, on that. Well, we've seen a lot of the entourage arriving, so...
He's 3,000 feet high, I think, for the moment. I cannot see the altitude. He's flying 22 knots, so he's standby, waiting for the...
Taking it slow, and
yeah.
it's going to be pretty much a
There's
state visit.
little low-level jet, but it's only 13 knots at 800 feet, and it's very light as turbulence, so he will not be disturbed by that.
And ground speeds? ground wind speed?
The wind on the ground is variable, mostly from the northwest, and you will land on the 350, the 35 runway, with a slight headwind from the northwest, 2 knots maximum. So it's very calm there.
You were taking charge of today's flight, Luc.
Yeah.
Did it all go as planned?
Fantastic. It was one of the most easy. It was good prepared, of course, since 3 days. And he flew all the journey above the cumulus clouds, over the Gulf of Bengal, over Myanmar, cumulus cloud which tops to 14,000 feet. He was flying 27,000 feet high. So he had no problem with this cumulus cloud, no wind shear. It was so easy to do this flight for us and for him, of course.
I'm sure you're already looking ahead to the next flight.
The next flight will be more difficult because we go to Chongqing, first town that we land in China, and Chongqing is known for its lot of stratocumulus clouds, rain also, and we have a path to follow, passing by Kunming, and also Kunming has not a good reputation. A lot of clouds there also, so we have to wait when we will have bright periods, so the dry air coming in. And Wim and I, we were working all the night and this morning to find some clearance, and it was not before next Wednesday. At least the best day for next week would be Thursday, Friday. So we have to confirm this day by day.
Of course, this will be confirmed. But there you've got a bit of an exclusive there from Luc Trulemans, that he's saying that before Wednesday, your expert view is that it's not going to be possible for us to get out of Mandalay. So we'll make the most of our time there. And if it goes by the welcome we're getting at the moment, it should be quite a fun stay. I'm sure there'll be plenty of interest in Myanmar. Well, thank you very much, Luc. I'll let you get back to your post. And you saw, before we spoke to Luc, some of the pictures and videos that we'd gathered from our team. Now, you have been very busy as well. We've had lots of interest and lots of tweets, and let's share some of them with you. Thank you very much, sir. Solar Impulse, baby, as the man said, and some of the pictures we've been receiving from you over the last couple of days, and some real bang-up-to-the-minute ones as well. Keep them coming. Keep sending in your photos. If you're in Burma at the moment, in the Mandalay region, then let's get your photos now. And we've got a bit of time. Maybe we can get them on SITV as soon as we can. We've got the social media team. They're looking at everything you're sending in. So if we get a picture that's really top-notch, then we will put it on SITV. For now, we're going to head back to the plane. Now, that is a live image of Solar Impulse in the sky with diamonds. All of those LED lights really making for an impressive sight. And we're now expecting the plane to land in around about 20 minutes' time. We'll try and get a more precise update on that, but that's the last information we got from the mission control team. And here you can see the cockpit.
Ask ATC if they prefer you to do holding over the airport or in downwind.
You know, I'm overhead, so I don't disturb them.
And that was a live picture of Bertrand Piccard in the cockpit. And we've got a new arrival. It's one of our team members arriving just in time. We'll just wait for him to take his seat and then we can see him. You might recognize him. Pilot communication, Prince Albert of Monaco, hello. Very well, thank you. And you, and he will be welcoming Bertrand as he arrives. Like I said, around about 20 minutes' time is what we're expecting. So we'll just let Prince Albert take his seat and get ready. And I'm sure there'll be a bit of a conversation between Prince Albert and Bertrand Piccard, and we'll relay that to you here on Solar Impulse TV. Let's head back to Mandalay International Airport now to take a look at the preparations and see what we can see. Now, I hope that picture's going to be on SITV. This is Solar Impulse TV Live, and we are awaiting the arrival of Bertrand Piccard at Mandalay International Airport. It's going to be quite a party. It's packed down the airport. We saw some of the rehearsals for the welcoming committee. We've got dancers, we've got a full brass band playing, lots of local media. I think Bertrand's going to enjoy this one. And here in Monaco, we've got another welcoming committee for Bertrand Piccard. Prince Albert of Monaco has arrived. And there he is, sitting next to Raymond Claire, our flight director, in his usual position. He's been here for 2 takeoffs and 2 landings already, and he was really keen to come back in his uniform, of course, as part of the Solar Impulse team, to say a few words of congratulations to his friend Bertrand Piccard when he arrives. Arrival's been pushed back to between 20 and 30 minutes later than initially estimated. Approximately 2:30 p.m. Monaco time, 13:30 GMT, 8 p.m. Mandalay time, although that is subject to last-minute changes. Could be a little bit earlier.
Perdu un bus. Avec Michel Piccard. Magnifique, extraordinaire. Vraiment formidable. C'est tout bien. On a battu notre record de vitesse.
This is correct.
I think it's correct. Yeah.
I just had confirmation that Solar Impulse 2 will be housed in our mobile hangar, which has been made to measure for this plane. Maybe we'll get a look at that a little later when the plane's on the ground. So the mobile hangar, we haven't seen that for quite a while. The last time the mobile hangar was used was during our Across America trip when we had a stop in St. Louis. And that time, that was in 2013, the plane had to be housed in the mobile hangar because the initial hangar, which had been set aside for us, had been partially destroyed by a tornado just a few days before, which was, as you can imagine, a little worry, given that turbulence is always something we try and avoid. But it all passed off very, very well. And it'll be a chance for you to see the mobile hangar in action during our stay in Burma, now known as Myanmar. Now they've started already.
Yeah, you have 30% air brakes already.
Christoph, 1.5 nautical miles. Touchdown point.
Position is correct.
These pictures are coming to you from Mandalay International Airport in Myanmar. Not only do we have dancers, not only do we have a full band playing, we've got a dragon, which we saw just now. A dragon on the tarmac. Senior members of the Myanmar authorities are going to be there, and this has been characterized as being almost at the level of a state visit. So all the pomp and circumstance you would expect. If you're watching this on YouTube, take a look at the instant chat, because as we can see here, this is all coming through now. Loads and loads of messages coming through from people around the world. Hello, Prince Albert from Thailand. Morning here in Brazil. We've got Belgium, Italy, USA. Someone's calling from Mars as well. Greetings from Mars. And that's the kind of reach we have. Intergalactic. So there you go. On YouTube right now, instant chat, and join in, and we'd like to see what you have to say about this landing of the fourth leg of our round the world flight attempt. 4 of 12. Yep, if you're any good at maths, that means that we are a third of the way down already. After 2 back-to-back pit stops, pushing it to get these smaller flights out of the way as quickly as possible before we head into China. After a stay in Mandalay for a few days, we'll be heading to Chongqing for another short layover, and then from there to Nanjing. And from Nanjing, we'll be staying for quite a while to really spread the message of solar impulse throughout the many millions of people in China who are waiting impatiently for us, and they'll get a chance, some of them, to see the plane. And there'll be plenty of opportunities for you to either see the plane or to take part in one of our virtual conferences. We have Google Hangouts planned. We have many things planned to really try and get in touch with many people around China, whether it's the schools Hangouts that we're organising. And that is all being planned for our arrival in Nanjing. I can't give you an exact date, of course, because it's always subject to weather. For example, we know now that our stay in Mandalay will be extended into next week. No takeoff before Wednesday of next week, and that is due to weather conditions. That's come straight from the horse's mouth from our expert meteorologist, Luke Trulemans. Now, our time in China as well is also a chance for us to spread this message, Future is Clean. Now, Future is Clean is an initiative that is being organised in cooperation with other partners. It's something that we've kicked off, but we also have lots of other people getting involved in this. Now, futureisclean.org is the website, so maybe you can go over there now. All you have to do is just click on I agree, and there you go. You can create an account or just join up quite simply with Facebook. And if you are interested in a cleaner future, which, well, who isn't, to be honest? Not something you can argue with there. They're explaining it for you as I speak. And look, now we can see some of the people who've already signed up, lots of organisations already. Green Cross, IRENA, that's the UN Agency for Renewable Energy. They're joining all the time. And many famous people are already involved. There's politicians, business leaders, celebrities. And we want you to join them as well, because this is really a worldwide initiative to get millions of people joining up before the December COP21 conference. That is the United Nations Climate Change Conference taking place in Paris at the end of the year. And we want to use this feat of exploration to really convince as many people as possible that we can have a world without fossil fuels. And that is the accord that needs to be signed in December 2015 in Paris. A world without using any fossil fuels by 2050. I know it sounds ambitious, it is ambitious, but if the political will is there, it can be done. And one of the reasons we're doing this is to show that technologically it can be done. We've got an airplane in the air right now which is travelling without any fossil fuels, and in fact is landing with more fuel than when it took off, which is really, when you think about it, a whole new paradigm shift on transport. And if we can apply that to the way we live on the ground and to our global economy, then we can live in a world which is a better place for all of us and quality of life for everyone. We can massively reduce the amount of energy that we're using. If we're more energy efficient, we could reduce it by 50%, and 50% of what's left could right now, with today's technology, be used by renewable energies. So let's see the latest now from Mandalay, where the excitement is growing all the time. Part of that welcoming committee. I thought it was a dancing dragon. It's not, it's a dancing elephant. Well, I think we still have a bit of time. As I said, the aircraft is going to be housed in our own made-to-measure mobile hangar, which is an inflatable hangar. And we'll try and show that to you after landing, because I've just heard that landing is imminent in just under 5 minutes' time. So let's stick with the live pictures from Mandalay right now. Under 5 minutes until the landing of Solar Impulse with Bertrand Piccard at the controls. Weather conditions mean that our stay is being slightly extended. We're not going to be able to take off before Wednesday, but the bright side is that it gives us more chance to meet the people of Myanmar and to discover some of that legendary scenery. Bertrand Piccard telling us at the beginning of the show that he has been here twice before. Second time he was ballooning with friends, and the scenery around Bagan with those temples thousands of years old is really quite spectacular, almost extraterrestrial. If you Google right now Bagan, B-A-G-A-N, if you don't believe me, look at some of those photographs. It's really quite astonishing. And if you can hear the sound from Mandalay Airport, you're probably catching up on the Mandalay top 10.
Air brakes to go.
Air brakes are set 30.
So again?
Air brakes are set 30%.
Yeah, but maybe he wants more, I don't know.
Yeah, I just say.
And do stay with us after landing, because we will have all the images of this welcoming committee, and Bertrand Piccard will have a few words to say to Prince Albert of Monaco, who's with us here at the Mission Control Centre, and of course a few words to say to the waiting welcoming committee and media on his arrival. He's broken a record. Again, last time it was for distance travelled, this time it's for speed, 216 kilometres an hour, 117 knots. He took advantage by heading up near the jet stream to get himself here as quickly as possible. And he even took off early today as well. It was quite a short show this morning. So still waiting for Bertrand to head down. Just a few minutes to go now. Let's head back to Mandalay. Let's just pick the aircraft out of the sky. I thought we lost it for a second. No, back to Monaco until we find the plane again. And there it is.
7.
Bertrand Piccard on his final approach. Travelling just over 20 knots now, slowing down.
Yeah, you are slightly on the low side, but it looks good. Yes, you have 10 knots, 45 degrees off.
Let him fly.
T'as du vent? Van, what is
I just
What
wanted
is
to
your
say
wind?
not to force. He should be ready for Mr.
Bertrand Piccard is less than 300 foot above the ground now. Speed around 25 knots on the final approach.
Speed is good, but he's
Touchdown.
100 feet from landing. Still taxiing towards the airport, and we're down. Just waiting for final confirmation from Mission Control. Bertrand Piccard moving towards the final position for a shorter taxi time.
Okay.
Bertrand Piccard at Mandalay International Airport, the end of the fourth leg of this round-the-world flight attempt. Two solar impulse electric bikes are level with the plane now, and when Bertrand slows, the rest of the catching crew will get their hands on the wings.
Stop on the runway.
And there we go. Congratulations, Bertrand Piccard. The catching crew have got their hands on the wings of Solar Impulse 2.
Very well done, Bertrand.
And
Thank
we're going
you.
to get a few words now, I think,
Everybody.
from Prince Albert.
I mean, your head hit me too much on the right, but the runway is so large that there is no problem. To Myanmar. I'm ready for
Bertrand, c'est Albert. Bonsoir.
Hey Albert, quel plaisir Albert, tu es de nouveau parmi nous au centre de contrôle.
Oui, écoute, je suis ravi d'être là. Bravo, c'était encore une belle arrivée. Et j'espère que le vol était à ta satisfaction.
Écoute, c'est magnifique, j'ai beaucoup aimé. Traverser les golfs de Mandalay, c'est magnifique. Ce delta de fleuves avec ces îles, et puis ensuite arriver sur le Myanmar, le coucher de soleil sur Mandalay. Et puis l'arrivée ici, c'est un pays que j'aime beaucoup, la Birmanie. Je ne sais pas si tu es venu souvent, mais c'est vraiment un beau pays.
Je suis venu qu'une fois malheureusement, mais c'est un pays magnifique et je suis très content que Solar Impulse fasse escale là. Et puis bravo pour le record de vitesse. J'ai su ça, c'est formidable.
Ah, merci. Oui, merci.
Bertrand Piccard just being congratulated by Prince Albert, and Bertrand Piccard explaining
Un instant.
that he is very fond of Myanmar, been here before, and that it's a very beautiful country.
Toutes ces
That's Solar Impulse 2 on the ground at Mandalay Airport, surrounded by our catching crew, who are preparing to
il faut que je fasse mes...
pull Solar Impulse 2 to its final
Oui,
position.
oui, vas-y. À tout à l'heure.
Une heure. On the inboard.
You're watching the inboard and outboard motor run-up checks. This is part of the post-flight procedure. Don't worry, he's not planning to take off again.
Qu'est-ce qui fait chaud alors ici?
Bertrand's just talking about how hot it is. We heard that it's around 38 degrees.
Outboard engines.
Mandalay.
Ducts proceeding. Run up outboard engines.
We lost the telemetry, so if you can tell us the value, Bertrand.
On y va. Elevator pull down. Elevator pull up. Back to neutral. Aileron. Aileron. Full right. Back to neutral. Rudder. Full left. Rudder. Full right. Back to neutral. Control completed.
We're still waiting for the Solar Impulse plane to be towed to its final position. There's a big welcoming committee, and we'd like to share some of those pictures with you. It looks quite exciting. We've seen dancing, we've seen singing, and we've also seen a dancing elephant as well. So we want to share that with you. But before then, we've got a bit of time before the plane comes to its final position. So a reminder of where Solar Impulse is going to be staying exactly. We have our own mobile hangar. This is a bespoke hangar, which is literally blown up to its full size and is made to fit the dimensions of this quite particular looking plane. And one of the men behind that and in charge of the whole ground crew is Niels Riese. He's here in Mandalay right now, but he explained everything that goes around the mobile hangar.
Well, there are a lot of unknown about this around the world, and for example, the destination airport. So, assuming that we go on a planned airport, we will have a tent or a fixed hangar waiting for us. But what if we divert? What if, for weather condition, we have to land somewhere we did not plan to? Well, here we have the mobile hangar, and we can mount quickly the mobile hangar to protect the aircraft. The fabric used for this mobile hangar comes from the sailing world. It's waterproofed, fireproof, it has ripstops, and it's inflated by fans. And we do not need to use all the fan at full power. It just depends on the wind speed. So the more wind we have, the higher the pressure inside the two fabric skin is. So to set up this mobile hangar, we need roughly 4 to 5 hours to be ready for the airplane to be protected. To completely close the mobile hangar, we need 6 to 7 hours, and to make sure that this hangar will stand 100 km per hour of wind, this is the worst case, we would need something like 10 hours.
Was the mobile hangar, which is going to be the home of Solar Impulse at Mandalay International Airport. Made to measure, it's going to keep the planes safe, fireproof, waterproof, and can withstand winds of around 100 kilometers an hour. And it also allows the sun to penetrate partially, so they can actually charge the batteries whilst the plane is in there. Big job, as Niels was saying, around 6 to 7 hours to inflate. So there hasn't been much rest for all of our ground crew during this very, very grueling pit stop. We're still waiting for the plane to be pulled to its final position. There's a big welcoming committee which is being organised. We saw some of the rehearsals whilst the plane was still in the air. And maybe we can see some more pictures of that shortly. Here in Monaco at the Mission Control Centre, it's champagne time. Our partner, Moet Hennessy, has brought along the special Solar Impulse champagne. And they've been enjoying a glass there. This is not standard procedure, by the way. But as the plane is on the ground.
Bertrand, Albert, j'ai quelqu'un qui veut te saluer. Attends une seconde. Oui.
And a few words from the Chief Minister of Monaco.
Bonsoir Bertrand, c'est Charles de Bourbon-Sicile.
Hey Charles, Quel plaisir d'avoir tu es là. Donc, ça fait tout l'atterrissage en direct depuis le MCC de Monaco.
Tout à fait, je suis ravi d'être ici. Félicitations pour cette belle prouesse humaine et technologique. Moi, j'ai un souvenir, tu sais, d'un vol qu'on avait fait ensemble, mais en montgolfière, à Balleroy. Je ne sais pas si tu te souviens.
Exactement. Et absolument, c'était en 92 ou 93 chez Malcolm Forbes. Et il y avait Wim Verstraeten, il y avait Yves D'Outremont. C'était toute une belle équipe là-bas. Il y avait Richard Abruzzo, Troy Bradley, des tas de copains avec qui on avait traversé l'Atlantique autrefois en ballon. Je me rappelle très bien.
Ta mémoire ne te lâche pas, je vois.
Non, quand il s'agit des amis, ma mémoire me suit et ne me trahit pas. C'est les ennemis que j'oublie, les amis, je m'en rappelle.
Bon, écoute, en tout cas, Bertrand, j'étais ravi de te saluer. Bonne continuation et profite bien de cette belle aventure.
Merci, merci beaucoup. Oui, on va rester, je pense, jusqu'à mardi prochain à Mandalay. Et ensuite, on part sur ça va être l'entrée sur le territoire chinois. Ça va être formidable sur Chongqing et ensuite Nanjing. Et ensuite, à Nanjing, on attendra les bonnes conditions pour pouvoir traverser le Pacifique, les États-Unis, l'Atlantique, et retour. Et on passera pas très loin de Monaco, en passant la Méditerranée.
Ça, on espère tous. Je crois que le prince Albert sera ravi de ce clin d'œil. Et tu dois bien profiter de ces beaux paysages à la vitesse à laquelle tu voyages.
Mais oui, c'est magnifique. Et puis, écoute, c'était formidable. Il y avait le golfe du Bengale aujourd'hui. Tu sais, le golfe du Bengale, je pense que c'est un des plus beaux endroits de la planète à voir de haut. C'est absolument incroyable parce qu'il n'y a pas de vraie côte. C'est un delta d'un fleuve qui se ramifie. Donc, il y a des grosses îles, ensuite des îles plus nombreuses mais plus petites, et puis finalement de moins en moins nombreuses, puis finalement c'est la mer. Donc, c'est assez incroyable comme endroit.
Ça doit être magnifique.
Oui, la Terre est magnifique. Si les humains la démolissaient un petit peu moins, ce serait bien.
Eh bien, à bientôt, Bertrand.
Quand je suis arrivé sur la Birmanie, il y avait des feux de forêt. Il y avait des feux de forêt près de la frontière birmane, et avec de la fumée qui sur des centaines de kilomètres carrés. Je ne sais pas ce qui s'était passé.
Je te salue alors, Bertrand, et à très bientôt.
Merci beaucoup, Charles. Au revoir. Et Albert, embrasse Charlène, embrasse les deux adorables jumeaux.
Merci Bertrand. Oui, je le ferai tout à l'heure en rentrant. Mais ils sont avec toi.
Très bien. C'est gentil. Amène Charlène une fois au centre de contrôle quand je fais un vol. Comme ça, je pourrais aussi lui parler. Je pense que ça l'intéressera.
Et bien sûr, c'est prévu. Je lui en avais déjà parlé. Elle va venir peut-être que quand tu seras au-dessus de la Chine.
Hey, excellent. Super. Ça devrait être mardi soir prochain ou mercredi soir prochain à peu près. Départ de Mandalay. On va essayer de survoler les temples de Mandalay avant de partir sur la Chine et de faire quelques images par hélicoptère parce que c'est des endroits mais superbes ici. Ils ont des temples magnifiques, des monastères. C'est absolument stupéfiant.
Ah ouais, ça serait formidable comme image. Bravo.
En tout cas, merci de ta fidélité. Tu es à tous les atterrissages. Ça me touche beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Ah, je suis là pour certains départs aussi. Merci à toi. À bientôt. Bravo.
Merci Albert. Je t'embrasse. Michel t'embrasse aussi. Au revoir.
Merci, au revoir.
Vous avez fini ou pas encore un point important?
Ouais, Bertrand, toutes mes félicitations aussi de toute l'équipe. Et je te repasse Christophe, qui, je pense, mérite le titre de Capcom officiel après sa prestation du jour. Je le repasse pour finir.
D'accord, très bien.
Ok Bertrand, il reste encore un point important, colibri et nano off.
Alors écoute, moi je ne sais pas comment les couper, les colibris et nano, donc je les laisse allumer. Et puis c'est l'équipe de sol qui sait comment les sortir et downloader des data, des données.
D'accord, très bien. Et félicitations, c'était super de faire ça avec toi, merci.
You're watching images from Mission Control Center. Bertrand Piccard is on the ground. A little earlier you heard him speaking to his friend Charles de Bourbon de Sicile, who is descended from the Bourbon kings of France, one of Bertrand's friends with a ballooning interest in common. Now, we've had lots of interest so far. Our team has been working hard, not sleeping very much over the last few days on this second pit stop. And they sent us together a little compilation of some of the best bits of the last few days.
There's no passport and no solar impulse too. Waiting in Varanasi and maybe makes me crazy. Imagine all the people and I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and we'll believe us one. So you could just take a seat here. So that was a few images of the story behind the scene of all of our team, and we've got a special guest here. Prince Albert of Monaco is back again. Hello.
Hello.
And
Pleasure to be
happy
back.
St. Pat's Day. I did say it on SITV, but you were otherwise engaged. It was a big
Yes,
night.
I'm sorry. It was a big night of football and of celebration afterwards. So
I'll bet it was. Yeah. Confident for the next round?
I am. It depends, of course, what our draw is going to be, but I think at this stage of the competition,
happy to be there.
Happy to be there, and we'll take whatever comes. So.
Well, you've got a manager working many miracles there. Let's hope he continues a bit. And it's always lovely to see you here. It's what, the 5th time now already?
Yes. I plan to be here more often.
Well, and the other great thing is every time you come here, White Hennessy come up with the champagne as well. So
that's right. So that's
keep it coming. I've got a present for you. Now I see you've got India on your badge on your arm.
I know.
There. We're not in India anymore, so
I know.
Got a special badge.
Oh,
not
okay.
everyone gets these. You've got to be in mission control to get that. Let's see if we can see that on the camera there. Maybe not. No, this camera. This camera. Yes. Does that help? Number 3. Yeah. Let me see. There, get a close up of that. There you go. That is the special mission control. There's a bit of Latin there as well. It is. Oh, it's upside down. Oh, good start. Well done, me. Let's try that again. The right way up. Can we see that on this camera? We're getting there. No. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. We made it. We made it. And
I think I have it on this arm, but it's okay.
Oh, you've got another one already.
Yes.
Well, we didn't have a right badge. What we'll do next time around, China, we'll get a China badge.
I have
How's
a
that?
China badge. So
Already in the bag. Great.
Yes.
Okay. Very well
So
prepared.
I'll wear that.
So good to see you again, and
But thank you.
nice to be here for the landing. Did
No,
Bertrand
it was
have any
beautiful.
special words for you?
He was happy, and of course, I congratulated him on the new speed record that was achieved during the flight. He was very proud about that. But I think he was very happy to. He had a great view of the Gulf of Bengal and the arrival in Myanmar. Of course, was pretty spectacular, and he's absolutely thrilled the way things are going, and I think it bodes well for the rest of the rest of the mission.
And you've been to Myanmar before, you were saying?
Yes, and we were actually talking about that. I've only been once, and it was about a year ago. But it's a beautiful country. I wasn't able to stay there very long, but it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful temples there, and the people are incredibly friendly and hospitable, and I think they're going to have a wonderful time there.
Great. No, it's going to be fun. And before I let you go to a bit of a champagne celebration, a reminder of Future is Clean. Now, I know you're aware of Future is Clean. You've discussed this with Bertrand. And tell us a bit more about your involvement in this project.
Well, I think it's an incredible project to raise awareness of the need for all of us to turn to not only cleaner energy and safer energy, but also a different way of living and of consuming different products. And I think this was Bertrand is absolutely right to insist upon this and to make everybody feel a part of this process. And if Solar Impulse can carry this message, and it has, and it will be, that'll have, I think, a tremendous impact on all of our lives. And so the Future is Clean project, I think, is not only the people that have signed up officially for it. I think it can touch everybody around the world, and we look forward to having more involvement from different entities, different organizations, but also private citizens from around the world.
Yes, and thanks to support from people like you, that's really going to help us get the support of many of the millions of people we want to put pressure on the heads of state. Well, you're already signed up, so that's one person we don't have to pressure, but all the other heads of state and government leaders around the world for a world without fossil fuels by 2050, and it can happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we are going to stay with pictures, I think, of Mandalay now. I think we can head back to Mandalay Airport to see what pictures we can get. We saw some of the preparations for the welcoming committee a little earlier. And let's head back there now to have a look at the dancing elephant. That's my favorite thing so far, the dancing elephant in Mandalay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Always a pleasure.
Live pictures from Mandalay International Airport, awaiting the arrival of the plane from where it is now and bringing it to its final position. And we've got Raymond Claire who's just left his place. Go on, off you go, Raymond. We'll speak to Raymond a little later, in fact, for our next pre-flight show. Let's say a couple of words. Let's see if we can have a quick chat with Raymond before he heads off. I know you've got champagne waiting for you, Raymond, and congratulating you for another leg down. Let's just sit down for a second. And
well, it's not only one leg, it's
third of the way.
2 legs. You know, with the pit stop operation, it's quite a tough duty. Huh? But we've done it very good, unbelievable. We thought this leg will be very difficult when we did analysis last year, 2 years ago, with a lot of crosswind, and this time finally the wind was not so cross, but from behind. So
powerful jet stream pushing them along.
Exactly. No, it was fantastic. Yeah, I'm very happy. And the first possible flight now, I can officially announce it, is on Tuesday.
Oh,
not
Tuesday.
before Tuesday.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Great.
So I just spoke with Luc, Wim, and André, and I will write the message in a few seconds. Next Tuesday, first possible flight.
There you go.
Chongqing.
That's exclusive, by the way, from Raymond Claire. We heard a few rumours earlier, but now we've got it from Raymond himself, and not before Tuesday. Doesn't mean it will be on Tuesday, but not before Tuesday, and we'll be updating you on our site. Now, it's going to take a bit of a while for the plane to get to the welcoming reception at Mandalay International Airport, so we're going to say goodbye for now, but the social media team are working overtime. Keep checking the Twitter stream. Photos, videos are going to be updated non-stop. You can look at that live now. Go to @SolarImpulse on Twitter for all of the latest, or any of the other social media networks that we're involved in, be it Google Plus or Facebook. But that Twitter stream is churning out latest information right now. But we'll be back for the pre-flight show one day before the next flight. So we're flying on Tuesday, then we'll be with you on Monday. So until then, goodbye, and keep looking at the latest images on solarimpulse.com.